John 1:43. Again the next day, John stood with two of his disciples, John and two of his followers. And looking at Jesus, John looked at Jesus as he walked. He said, "Behold the Lamb of God." John and Jesus, the Lamb of God. Again the next day, John stood with two of his disciples, and looking at Jesus as he walked, he said, "Behold the Lamb of God." John saw Jesus. John 1:37. The two disciples heard him speak. "Behold the Lamb of God." Two of John's disciples heard John, and they followed Jesus. John's disciples followed Jesus. Then Jesus turned. John's disciples and Jesus. The two disciples heard him speak, and they followed Jesus. Then Jesus turned. John 1:38. And seeing them following, Jesus saw John's disciples following him, said to them, "What do you seek? What are you looking for?" They said to him, "Rabbi, where are you staying?" Jesus and John's disciples, "Where are you staying?" And seeing them following, said to them, "What do you seek?" They said to him, "Rabbi, where are you staying?" John 1:39. He said to them, "Come and see." Jesus and John's disciples. They came and saw where he was staying. John's disciples saw Jesus' place and remained with him that day. That day they stayed with Jesus. Now it was about the 10th hour, 4:00 in the afternoon. He said to them, "Come and see." They came and saw where he was staying and remained with him that day. And it was about the 10th hour. John 1:40. One of the two who heard John speak and followed Jesus, was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. Andrew, brother of Simon Peter. He first found his own brother Simon. Andrew found Simon. One of the two who heard John speak and followed him was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. He first found his own brother Simon. John 1:41, and said to him, "We have found the Messiah." Looks like he's grabbing his neck. "We have found the Messiah." Andrew and his brother Simon, which is translated the Christ. Messiah equals the Christ. And he brought him to Jesus. Andrew brought Simon to Jesus. Now when Jesus looked at him, he said, "You are Simon, the son of Jonah. You shall be called Cephas." Jesus looked at him, said, "Your name is now Cephas," which is translated a stone, which I believe is Peter the rock, Petra. Simon is now Cephas. And said to him, "We have found the Messiah," which is translated the Christ. And he brought him to Jesus. Now when Jesus looked at him, he said, "You are Simon, the son of Jonah. You shall be called Cephas," which is translated a stone. John 1:43. The following day, Jesus wanted to go to Galilee. Jesus decided to go to Galilee. And he found Philip. "Hello, Philip." Jesus and Philip. And said to him, "Follow me." Jesus and Philip. The following day, next day, Jesus wanted to go to Galilee, and he found Philip, and said to him, "Follow me." Jesus and Philip. John 1:44. Now Philip was from Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip is from Bethsaida. I should do a little arrow there. I'm from Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip found Nathanael. "Hey, Nathanael," and said to him, "We have found him." Philip and Nathanael, "We have found Jesus." Now Philip was from Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip found Nathanael and said to him, We have found him. John 1:45, of whom Moses in the law, and also the prophets wrote. Prophets, people of God, men of God, wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph, of whom Moses in the law and also the prophets wrote, Jesus of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. Philip tells Nathanael.